I remember being splayed out on the cool floor as I absorbed the first rays of the rising sun. It was during weekends that I'd most often do this. I knew I would be back in school in far too short a time, but while I lay there in its warmth and splendor, I couldn't mind. Sunlight is a curious thing. It can make you ill if you have too much, and you're likely to become sick if you don't have enough. Most of us who have vision form a connection to light that transcends basic understanding. Light shows all things and makes it possible for our eyes to see. Without it, we would be blind, just as it is to be living without truth. Not surprising that truth and light are said to be synonymous. My father had a knack for crafting furniture out of timber, and made much of our shelves and racks himself. There used to be an enormous cupboard separating the place where my television was and where we used to eat. I'd always run my fingers along it just to feel the grain as I travelled from one part of the house to another. Timber, like us, ages differently when situated in different places. It thrives indoors, and with a little lacquer it glows. Under the shade, although sheltered, it tends to grey and lose its vibrancy. Subjected to the full extremes of the weather, and it'll chip away and eventually become gnarled and emaciated. As I grew, I came to realize that people responded the same way to life as wood does to weather. But unlike wood, people have the innate ability to choose whether or not to age with the tides. There was a magical quality about beds, or rather everything that went on it. The sheets, the pillows, the blankets. They felt soft and didn't make me itch like some of my clothes did. I thought everything in the world should feel as comfortable as a bed. Beds were a big part of feeling safe as a kid. I'd wrap myself in covers so I'd feel secure. Back then I was afraid of the dark. When I woke up in the middle of the night needing a glass of water, I'd fortify my defenses with a good many layers of blankets. I also found the bed to be an excellent source of recreation. I spent hours building a roof over my head, and when it was finished, it was my pride, my territory, my space. If there was anyone who wished to come in, they'd have to be my friend first. In Malaysia, water was abundant. Not that I realized that as a kid. I just theorized that there were magical portals behind taps where water flowed out from gigantic seas. At my own home by the church, there was a 3-foot tank made of terrazzo that sat in the bathroom, and I would often fill it up with water and take my toys in to play with. The memory was too painful to bear, but my father said that I once took both my toy trains and remote-controlled car into the depths of the tank with me. The water shorted their circuits and both of them didn't survive the ordeal. Water really is a marvelous thing. It seems to be crystallized when suspended in the air, and shatters like glass when it hits the bottom. If you put it in a container and agitate it, it appears to transform into a jelly-like state, becoming coherent and almost impenetrable, clear, odorless, and tasteless. It is for the most part a simple substance, but profound enough to be likened to the stern mother, able to be both gentle and harsh. When I was older, I had a science experiment that involved growing soybeans at home. From that I came to be fascinated with dirt, or to be more eloquent about it, the substance of the earth. It comes in many forms like sand, soil, and pebbles. Sand has a fluid nature about it. It flows like a liquid and floats in the air like a curtain, but chafes the skin. Soil provides nourishment to many plants and garden vegetables like soybeans, and is cool and moist to the touch. As children, we take to dirt readily, but sadly most of us grow up to realize how filthy it really is. Pebbles, once again, are like a metaphor for humans, but in a way completely opposed to timber. While wood erodes with weather and age, pebbles lie in the beds of streams and rivers, where they sit to be worn by the mighty water currents gushing about them. They start as unrefined stones and turn into smooth, rounded jewels. It's funny how we talk of materials as though they are separate from us, when we are from the earth and shall one day return to it.